Hola mis estudiantes, este video es sobre los pronombres del objeto directo, in English direct object pronouns. So think back to English class what a direct object is. So direct objects in English always come after the verb. That is not going to be the case in Espanol. So they'll answer the question who, like who is receiving the action of a verb. So for instance, he kissed me. Me is receiving the action of the kissing. Or we could also think, who did it happen to? The hugging happened to you. The hitting happened to her. Who's receiving the action of a verb? So the understanding is being done to us. Or the hating is being done to them. So direct objects can also answer the question what. This is one of our objects. So if I say I bought the shirt, I bought it, either it or the shirt is my direct object because it is answering what is being bought. So this lesson is all about direct object pronouns. So when the direct object happens to be a pronoun. So all of these here are pronouns since we're replacing names as nouns. Here I have both a noun and pronoun. So for instance, it here is a pronoun, them is a direct object pronoun, and so on. So like in English, we'd have to know to not say we, where, they, rather to say we, where, them. So that's what we're doing today in este video. Also remember, to understand is entender. That gets used a lot with direct objects because you have to say things like, yes, I understand you, or no, I don't understand them when you're speaking a different language. Pues in Espanol, we just went over what direct objects are in English. They have all the same functions, but they just have these different pronouns. So now that you've hopefully copied down these direct object pronouns into your notes, in Spanish, you need to note that they will come before the verb. So in English, we'd say I want it. It comes after the verb. In Spanish, I put the pronoun before my verb of la. Let's do this example of they, where, them a lot. So ellos is they, where, llevan. Them is referring to shoes. So I have two options over here for them. Shoes are masculine, zapatos. So I'm going to pick los. And then a lot, es mucho. Ellos los llevan mucho. Remember, I don't have to include ellos if I don't want to. It could just be los llevan mucho, since subject pronouns are optional. So remember, in Spanish, always put direct object pronouns before the verb. So there is one exception to that rule. Direct object pronouns go before the verb. If a sentence has two verbs, we have options in terms of where we could put these pronouns. So if there's two verbs, I could put it before the first verb. That's a rule we just learned, and that's probably the easiest one. Put pronouns before the verb. Then the other rule is attach. You could attach a pronoun to the end of the second verb if you wanted to do that. However, the thing is, they cannot go in between the two verbs. So be sure you have these rules written down. And here's an example. We want to buy them. So want is a verb, our first verb. To buy is our second verb. So remember, I could put my pronoun right here. Before my first verb, or I could attach it to the end of a word for buy. So the sentence in Spanish would be nosotros want, queremos, comprar. Them, let's say them is referring to the jeans, los jeans. So jeans are masculine, so it's going to be los. So I could put it here before my first verb. That's my first rule. Or I could change it up, put it attached to the end of a word comprar. So that's option B, attached to the end of a second verb. However, what I cannot do, I cannot say nosotros queremos los comprar. So that's what I cannot do. I cannot put this between my two verbs. So you can see that's crossed off as a no. So finally, how do you know what pronoun to use? So people are pretty easy, like may is me, te is you, and so on. Objects can be tricky since it can either be lo or la, them can be los or las. So you have to remember to look at the gender of the item. So if it's a masculine item such as zapatos, it would have to be lo, or los. It would be los because zapatos are plural, for instance. So borrador is masculine and singular, so it would be lo. Plumas, feminine and plural, so it would be las. You can also think of an article. I found this neat graphic of showing which articles. So for instance, if it's a masculine singular word, the word for va or a is going to be el or un, so therefore your direct object pronoun would be lo. Gracias por mirar.